What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kyberlord, and YouTube. It's been a while since I've uploaded on here, but I am back with another deck profile. And to start off my return to YouTube, I'm bringing you the Column Boys. Yes sir, the Mekk-Knights. Now Mekk-Knights is one of my absolute favorite decks. It's one of the decks I first picked up when I came back into the game a couple of years ago, and I've been in love ever since. It is sort of more like a rogue fun option, but I mean, we're trying to adapt it to the current meta. We are playing loads of hand traps. We are side decking to like just general stuff in the meta. So remember, have fun, and let's get started with Mekk-Knights.
Stardust, Black Rose, no hope, life low. Alright, I'm set, I got my deck. I'm about to head to my homie crib next. I got a brand new combo with some chicks. I'm about to burn them for 8,000 quick. Got it on standby so you can't draw. Main face ain't shit, go to your school face, that mean you lost.
Hi, make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Starting off with the main deck, guys, our first Mekk-Knight in the lineup is the 3 Gears with the Orcus Mekk-Knight. Now, this is a very important card. It's basically the Mekk-Knight we want to see in all our opening hands. It is our column starter. Basically, if you control no other monsters, you can special summon a token to your side of the field and special summon one on your opponent's side of the field. And if they've already control something in the extra monster zone, place the token behind that monster and you've got a free column for your big boy Mekk-Knights. We are playing the Galatea package in this, which you can link into with Gearsu, because he is an Orcus monster, and then you can just overlay into the Dingirsu. You can hard summon Dingirsu with Indigo and Purple, but we always like the easiest way to summon. So 3 Gearsu, very, very important card. Speaking of our big boy Mekk-Knights, we are playing 3 purple. The lineups don't change a lot. Purple, target 1 Mekk-Knight you control, banish it, and then you basically search a Mekk-Knight. He is your biggest Mekk-Knight with 2500 attack. He is one of the level 8s, along with Indigo, which if you want you can hard summon Dingirsu, but we really want to summon him if we can go into it with Gearsu. So 3 purple. We're playing 3 blue. That doesn't change at all. Basically, you get Mekk-Knight searches up to the number of cards your opponent controls in this card's column. So if you're special summoning this in a column where your opponent controls 2 cards, 3 cards, for example, you will get the 2 and the 3 searches. So if you've given them the token, if they've got a link monster and they've got a set, you're basically searching out 3, which is really, really good. Mekk-Knights can be quite bricky, so we want all the draw power we can. We want all the search power we can. So 3 blue sky. We're playing the 1 yellow star. That is basically our back row pop. We're playing the 1 red, which is basically a monster pop. And we are playing the 1 indigo eclipse, which is the Mekk-Knight that can basically switch columns. It is a quick effect, so together with World Legacy Secrets, you have that little combo to be negating monsters in different columns. You don't necessarily have to move him. You can target another Mekk-Knight and switch it to a different column. So that is it for our Mekk-Knight lineup. Our next monster is the 1 World Legacy World Chalice. A lot of people play Armor over this, but I prefer World Chalice because, as I said, this deck can be quite bricky, so we want all the draw power and all the search power we can. You're going to want to send this off Gearsu, and then next turn when it's in the grave, banish it and add a World Legacy card from deck to hand. For hand traps now, we are playing the Golden Girl. We are playing the 3 Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring. Ash is just possibly the strongest hand trap in the game. She will always see play. So 3 Ash Blossom. This next card had a lot of impact last format, and it still does. A lot of decks auto lose to Droll and Lockbird. So we have to main deck it. I was main decking Nibiru as I was testing this deck, but I feel like Droll has a higher impact. We're playing 3 Infinite Impermanence. Our monster negates. We don't really have a lot of monster negates that we can set up. So we want to use as much power from hand traps as we can. Also, Infinite Impermanence, you can set it and then basically just start off your columns as well. This engine needs to be hit. We're playing 2 Bestial Mags and 2 Bestial Druid Swarms. These are it's such a free engine. Like, a lot of people have been hoping for these to be hit. But in the meantime, we're going to abuse them in Mekk-Knights. So 3 mag, 3 Juris Worms. If your opponent already controls a monster, which if you're giving them the Gears 2 token, they basically become quick effects. And they pop a card on the field when they get sent to grave. So really, really good engine. If you're not drawing Mekk-Knights, you can't just have Bestials on the field, and then basically you can use them to link climb as well. That is it for all the monsters. Now moving on to spells. We are playing our World Legacy Memory, which is basically a Rhoda for Mekk-Knights. You can special summon a Mekk-Knight from hand or deck in defense position, and at the end of the turn it just bounces back to your hand. It does lock you into Mekk-Knights, so be really, really careful with that. We're playing the one World Legacy Succession, which is basically a Monster Reborn. It's also a normal spell, so you can set it, build a column, special, and then flip it, and then activate. Use the effect, and carry on from there. World Legacy Key. Now, you don't have to play this, but I do choose to. It's with, Labyrinth around, and maybe Altergeist is going to kind of see some play with the new support they've got. It's basically a trap card negate, so it's optional. For draw power, we are playing the 3 Pot of Prosperity. I want to say this is the only pot you can play in this deck. A lot of people, obviously the budget option will be Extravagance, and if Prosperity does get hit, people might resort to Extravagance. But while we've got Prosperity, it's such a broken card, you definitely want to play it in the deck. To add to that draw power, since we're going to be getting hand trapped, obviously, is the 2 triple Tactics Talent. And for our last spell in the deck, it's just a generic Harpy's Feather Duster. For trap cards, we're playing the 2 World Legacy Secret, basically Monster Negate, and this is the little combo you do with Indigo, where you just move your Mekk-Knights to different columns and just negate monsters. The last card is World Legacy Whispers, which is basically spell effect activations. So you've got Monster Negate, you've got Spell Negate, and you've got Trap Negate. So you want to be playing, definitely try and get into Indigo as soon as you can once you've got these cards set. And also World Legacy Secrets. It's also like a sort of like a Monster Reborn, but it has to be a level 5 or higher. So you obviously cannot bring your links back or the Gears, so it has to be one of your big boy Mekk-Knights. That is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. The first card is the 1 Lingaribo. We are playing Ibli in the side deck, so we want something to just get rid of it quickly and give it to our opponent. We are playing the 1 IP Masquerena. We want to go into Abramax, which is basically our win con, and we also want to make it indestructible with IP Masquerena, and 90% of decks will have trouble outing that Abramax. As I said, with Gearsu, we are playing the Galatea package, which we can go Gearsu, Galatea, and then go into the Dingirsu. And obviously, to overlay the Dingirsu is the 1 AA Zeus. Back to our World Legacy cards, Mekk-Knight cards, we are playing the 3 Lib. This is a very important card. It's basically the first card you want to link into, and it just keeps your place going. We are playing the 3 Morning Star. Really, really good card. Basically searches a World Legacy card, but you do have to discard, and then you take no damage if it battles something in a different column. So really, really good card. Another card that can be optional is the Mekk-Knight Spectrum Supreme. He can attack directly, but I don't know, there's better options to go into than him. Like, if you know you definitely have game, waste your resources into Spectrum Supreme. But now for generic links, we are playing the 1 Nightmare Unicorn just to bounce something back. We are playing the Access Code Talker whenever we want to OTK and we've got enough links in grave, and we've got enough monsters to obviously link climb into him. And then we've got the 1 Crusader Evermax, which is basically what we want to sit on. You want to sit on Evermax, you want to sit on Legacies, on Whispers, and then just basically negate and just sit on Avermax. And a lot of decks, trust me, will have trouble outing your Avermax that you've made with IP Masquerena. But that is it for the extra deck. Now moving on to the side deck. Now, as I always say, side deck can be optional. Side deck according to your locals, according to the current format, whenever it is you're also watching this video. So according to your locals, according to the format, according to the majority popularity of decks, and like whatever tournament you're going to. So this is just, I always try and cover something that, I don't know, you can side deck against just general stuff. But first one off is obviously the 3 Nib. This card kind of saw less play last format. A lot of people were playing around it. Obviously Kashira learned to play around it, but it's kind of making its way back, or it's made its way back, so we're playing it. One card that goes really well with this deck is the Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. Basically gets sent to grave, special summon it to your opponent's side of the field, and it locks them into links. The next one is Dark Ruler No More. We do have trouble breaking boards, so we basically want to negate and then just set up our board and sit on it. To go with the Dark Ruler No More is the 3 Evenly Matched. Obviously you can't have a perfect more better combo than Dark Ruler No More and Evenly Matched. The last card we are playing, which you can play around with it, you have to be very smart with it, is the 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. A lot of decks, obviously majority of decks play spell cards, so you don't really need the spells when you're spamming Mekk-Knights, when you've got hand traps. Obviously our only spells are like Triple Tax, Harpy's Feather Duster, the Pot of Prosperities. Like, yes, they are clutch to draw and everything, but you can definitely play around Anti-Spell Fragrance. You just have to be very, very smart about it. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile, guys. This is more of like a casual rogue sort of option for deck. It's definitely not meta. It's definitely not going to compete with the top tier decks. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh is a sort of like a luck based game, I want to say, but definitely it is a fun deck to try out. So build it, take it to your locals, build it online, test it, build it on Master Duel, which is what I'm definitely going to do. It's a fun deck. I love Mekk-Knights. It's one of the very first decks that I picked up when I came back into the game, and I've been in love with them ever since. But yeah, thank you guys for the support, and sorry again for like basically just abandoning my channel for a very long time. But I'm back. I'm gonna bring in lots of content, so make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you guys for all the support. Kyberlord out.